I want to talk to you about the creative free writing that we do with leaders, and that if you show up at one of our programs, we can do with you too. And but even if you don't, I want to give it to you so you can start using it for your to get your questions answered, for one thing. So I'm going to give you 4 ways to use creative writing. One is when you have a really big challenge. I first really got into this when I had the big challenge of my grandson who had a fatal illness and severe disabilities. That's a big challenge. And I've wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote about it. And it transformed my relationship to that challenge to where he shifted, and he didn't change, but I changed. And how what I thought was possible with his family and with him. And he was just this delightful, laughing, lovely child that all the dogs, of course, didn't know anything about whether he was disabled or not. And they just loved being around him, and we did too. We miss him terribly. But a challenge also, like you have with a client or a colleague at work that kind of getting on your nerves. And you really don't want to talk to anybody about it. You definitely want to take it home and talk to your spouse about it. So when you write with this way of keeping your hand moving, you start, and it's only for 3 minutes, and you write for 3 minutes about this challenge, and keep your hand moving. And this is with your hands, not on your computer. You'll find something you have to say about it that you never could have thought, because your monkey mind, your brain was full of this, oh no, this is hard, this is hard. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the most powerful things for leaders to have, these little 3-minute writing sessions with themselves. Not they're going to publish it or share it with anybody necessarily, but they're going to clear their mind and be very, very focused. And they'll see an answer that they hadn't seen before. So I use it that way almost every day. The second is when you're making a presentation. So most of us have presentations to make in business or in our volunteer jobs, or even when you're trying to talk to your family about a vacation idea, you could call that a presentation. Mm-hmm. And so what we're suggesting is you write the crappy presentation. It's the idiotic, the stupid, it makes no sense presentation. Keep your hand moving. I have this really great idea, this is what it is, or this is what we're going to do, or this is new product that we have, this is the results of our quarter that I want to present to you, whatever it is, and then you just write it, including how much the audience is irritating you. You can just write anything, because you're not going to show this to anybody, but it will get it completely off your mind. And you keep your hand going. You may, if it's a really big presentation, you might need several 3-minute writes. I still suggest 3-minute writings. But you can stop and take a break and do it again. Stop and take a break and do it again. And then when you're ready to actually work on the outline of the presentation, it will be magical, because you're not dragging any of that silliness or irritation or fear or nervousness into the presentation. The third is apology and appreciation. And I don't know, I don't know why exactly. I have a hunch that we're not particularly good at apology and appreciation. We're very good at blame. And I think we kind of get embarrassed with apology, or we want the other person to apologize or something. And with praise, it's just a little bit too intimate, particularly at work, to praise somebody too much, except when we're giving them a gold watch, for their 25 years. So with apology and appreciation, and in our programs we work on this a lot, to have the participants write apologies and write appreciations. And I have a new one I've come up with my business partner, where it's apology without transgression, where he's just apologizing for maybe he interrupted his wife, or maybe he didn't clean out the sink, or maybe she was telling about her day and he started telling about his day, and maybe that wasn't right. And she's just over the moon about his facility with apology, but it started with his writing practice on apology. Then the last one I want to tell you is if you're in a group, whether it's a work group or a book club group or Sunday school class group, or family group, it really is great for, I do this a lot with my grandchildren, that you write, and you write for 3 minutes, and it can be about the color yellow, or it can be about how you love to eat Honeycrisp apples. It can be about anything. It's not about something, the economy, or how you feel about politics. And then read it to each other. And what I do with groups usually is give them about 4 times to write for 3 minutes, so that they only have to read one, so they're really passing on 3 of them and reading one. If you ask people to read, you only give them one writing instruction, you ask people to read, that's too dangerous, because people need to know they don't have to read. But if they've written 4 times, the likelihood of having one that they feel comfortable reading, they will have. Well, when you hear people read what they wrote in 3 minutes, all of a sudden you know them. All of a sudden you're delighted with them. It's always very inspiring, a lot of times very funny, and you end up having a lot more connections than you had before. So I recommend that you do that kind of sharing your writing, as well as doing the writing that I told you about, and then you also share it. Thank you.